The SpongeBob movie Sponge Out of Water, or Spongebob Squarepants the movie 2, is about Antonio Banderas, who plays an evil pirate who steals the Krabby Patty formula. And SpongeBob and the gang have to travel to land to get this Krabby Patty formula and save Bikini Bottom. From the trailers, you think it's this movie about them becoming superheroes and that clay animation and them on land and defeating this evil pirate. But I'm not trying to spoil anything for anybody, but this movie has much more to it than just this pirate and them on land. There's so much more to the story. There's multiple storylines that connect, that make it really fun, but I'm not going to spoil anything. You just got to see it on your own. As a true fan of the first 3 seasons, and a somewhat fan of the seasons after that, I really felt like this movie stayed true to the first 3 seasons. The jokes hit well with how the first 3 seasons were. The creepiness, the disturbing moments, the hand-drawn moments, close-up shots, faces that look different and creepy, and all the sweat that drips down, and just, you know, when the close-up pan shots and it's hand-drawn, those moments, there's a lot of those moments. There's a lot of references to the earlier seasons of SpongeBob that made me go, I remember that when I was younger. There's a lot of things that I think SpongeBob fans will love about this movie. A lot of the references to the earlier seasons of SpongeBob. As the producers of the first 3 SpongeBob seasons came back to make this movie. And there were times, literally, that this movie was trippy. Like, you had to be drunk or high to see this movie. There's a certain part in this film where everything is going really good, and then bam, something just happens. You're like, this isn't SpongeBob. This is completely weird, and I haven't seen anything like this, as I haven't seen most of the recent SpongeBob seasons, so I don't know how they do things now. I'm just a fan of the first 3 seasons, but there were so many trippy moments in this movie that after the movie was over, I thought, what did I just watch? I think this movie did have a mix of good moments for kids and a lot of good moments for adults. I really like that they included a lot of characters in this movie. One of my main issues with the first SpongeBob movie is that I focused mainly on SpongeBob and Patrick. Here you get everyone in the show as in this movie. You get SpongeBob, Patrick, you get a lot of Squidward and Mr. Krabs, Sandy, you get a lot of Plankton. And I don't really care for Plankton, but I really like Plankton in this movie. You get Mrs. Puff, Gary, and a lot of characters that were in the first 3 seasons that I remembered, and I saw them like, I remember them. I remember the guy that had the pickles underneath his tongue. He's in here. So there's a lot of things that I really loved about this movie that made me think about the first 3 seasons and appreciate this. There were a few things that were lacking in this movie, and one being a very uninteresting villain. I felt like Antonio Banderas, his character, wasn't really needed. He played a bigger role in the ending, but previous to that, you just didn't feel like he was needed. He was uninteresting and didn't feel like he was flourished out well and just didn't provide much to the movie. There were also several times between scenes that I felt bored. I'm just watching the movie, there wasn't really many jokes that hit with me, and I could really feel like the kids too. They were a bit squirmy at times. They weren't paying attention to the screens. So there are multiple downtimes in the film, but there are also some scenes that make you just really laugh and you're in the moment. So there's a little bit of inconsistency there with the scenes, but overall I felt like the SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water, was a really great time. Trippy at times, some weird characters in the middle of this film that make me question life. I really liked that they used all the characters, they referenced to the earlier seasons of SpongeBob. The animation flourished well, it looked really great. I even liked SpongeBob and the gang out of water and on land. The claymation was rather unique and special, and I really liked that. With there being multiple stories, I felt like the pacing was really well, and the stories transitioned to each scene really well. So I'm going to go ahead and give the SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water, a B-. This is Just Watches Movies, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.